Hey everyone, it's Ross. Welcome to Season 2, Adventures in the Void Spacecast. This season we're talking about independent and folk science fiction tabletop role-playing games. The following is an actual play of the original Starfaring role-playing game, Classic Traveler, by Mark Miller and Games Designer Workshop. So get your vac suit on, your sidearm ready, and prepare to exit jump space. We've got money to make and worlds to explore, and we hope you'll join us on these adventures. Out here on the Imperial fringe, it's just us veterans of the Fifth Frontier War keeping the space lanes moving. Free traders like us, still willing to evade the pirates, the terrorists, the zealots, the criminals. They prey on these war-torn ruins of 100 worlds. They call us travelers. We aren't liked, but we're needed. We use our skills we learned in the service to operate starships and earn a buck. We ain't looking for trouble, but it always finds us. When it does, it'll find us ready. Roll a d3. I got... This feels unfair. I feel like Alex, I feel like you get it every time. Is this... you got it last time, didn't you? But you can take it. But I got a 1, so I got.
It's okay. I take notes.
You do take excellent notes, so it works out. But
Yes.
We'll see.
I just wanted to be fair. But yeah, what happened last time, Alex?
So we were in a fake arms deal with a space Viking named Jorgulfsson when an imposter version of him appeared, or maybe he was the imposter, and that was a fun little standoff. And around the same time, I was at the helm of our ship, and I received an encrypted transmission at the cockpit. It said, Isabella, Ragged Ears, Sept of Kingdom, King Glom, Rude Star, 2 hours. But also we were in the middle of a little bit of a thing, so our crew just retreated to the ship. The new Bjorgulf tried, the old ones tried leaving with the money. We shot them. We did end up documenting their remains anyway, just so, like, you know, if we do finish our original quest, we can hand that in and say, see, we killed them. But we ended up talking to the other one and brought them aboard and got his side of the story. If I recall correctly, he had claimed that something along the lines of his crew had like mutinied him, so he was stranded in the wasteland with a couple of his guys. But his old crew had managed to conjure up a fake version of him because it probably still wanted to capitalize on his name recognition when doing, you know, criminal business, much like what happened with us when we were trying to do our arms deal. At least that's how he tells it. I don't recall, did we tell him that the whole arms deal was
Yes.
a setup and that we were going to kill him and everything?
Yes.
That's what I thought. I thought we were like cards on the table all the way. But then, you know, we talked about the transmission and we were like, well, we have these coordinates and we're pretty sure this is where Isabella is and we do want to rescue her, and it was at a slave market. So we went there and we came up with a ruse, pretending that we were selling these space Vikings while also we were going to buy Isabella. We did bid on her successfully, and that's also when we gave Bjorgulfsson the sign to let loose and just fight his way out with all of his guys back to our ship, if I recall correctly.
And if I recall correctly, we have not fired any shots yet.
We need to pretend to be innocent bystanders. We have plausible deniability.
For as long as possible until we get right up to the place where we're supposed to hand over cash or something. And then it's time to book it, and maybe, you know, then we can start shooting. Anyway, just throwing that out there. We have not fired any shots.
Yeah. Well, gee, it looks like you're back on your comp. Is it up and running? Everything going okay?
Yeah. Good news. My computer finally resolved its slowness, so I logged out of my phone and I'm all set up. I think everything is cool now.
Awesome.
As long as you can hear me.
Yeah,
Yep.
glad to hear it. Here we go. So here you are at the slave market, and Yes, Captain Borgelson has just set matters in motion. And the first thing he did was there was apparently you can't see. I'm gonna move you guys back just so you can see temporarily.
Right.
There was a what looked like Imperial military here at this Marcello. You kind of were able to suss them out, and first thing Captain Borgelson does is when they bring him up, to put him up for sale, he brings out his holdout pistol and shoots that guy straight in the head, ends him, and then a gunfight ensues out there, and you take your purchase, and you are now in the area where they're going to where you would have usually make a purchase, but everybody is running around in utter chaos and trying to respond to this. Yeah, what do you do?
We should hang about for a second, see how Bjorgulfsson is doing. Is he making his way towards us? I'd hate to shout to him.
Let me chuck some dice and see how Captain Bjorgulfsson does. Nice. Nice. Nice.
I don't like the sound of that.
No, it was great. It was great. He is causing. So a couple of things happen. First of all, a matter of minutes, a minute or two passes as you see him causing absolute havoc. They get to work just killing people. They dive back behind here. They take cover. One person subdues someone, takes their weapon, starts fighting in a melee hand-to-hand combat situation with this one, and this other guy kills another person. So they are. I think this person has to do a. He passes though. He's going to fight to the death. So it's going to take him a bit, and you're not quite clear if he's going to go this way or where he's going to act or move. But they definitely.
All right. So what? Sorry. Go ahead.
You can hear running and yelling as people are coming towards you, because this is the entrance into the slave market. So this is kind of like the main area, and some people actually appear with rudimentary single action rifles.
I say we surprise them and kill them.
You're gonna try to kill them quickly, okay?
Yeah.
So
Aye, Captain.
Marcello, roll a d6 to see if you can.
I'd like to wait for him to pass us.
Actually,
I'd like to look all agog and scared and stuff, and
neither side is surprised. However, if you try to act surprised, this one right here, he's like, go up to the, put your back against the atrium and wait here. We'll have this. Somebody's attacking us. Keep your head down. And then one of them moves into here. You can hear more people approaching, and then this person stays with you.
Okay, well let's get him first then.
Be my guest, Captain.
Okay, I think I'm gonna chop him with the cutlass. If I can figure out a way to just sort of sidle up next to him and then give him a side swipe to the back of the head or something, so it's a little less loud than a gun. There's a lot of gunfire going off over there.
Can you move your token? I don't know if you can or not. Token's right here. You have to. Oh yeah, worked. Awesome. All right. Yeah, you can because you're the attacker, you can act. So roll to hit.
All right. I have a overall 2 with a cutlass.
Nice. So yeah, roll for damage.
Okay. Okay. Cutlass. 3d6 it says.
Nice. You said you were aiming for the back of his head.
Yeah.
You do that, and you just hear gurgling, and everyone sees a display of blood fly against the wall.
All right. Let's move him. Let's drag him out behind this little. Is there like a little lip? I don't know how accurate this is, but maybe behind this what looks to be like a stone. I can't.
Yeah, it looks like a tiered
Stone lip or
atrium kind of
something.
thing, or like a terrace
Yeah,
where you've got
it
like
looks maybe like it looks like there's a stone wall to the south, just to the south, where I could tuck his just sort
Yeah.
of shove him up there or something.
All right, you do that. What's everyone else doing? What about Marcello and Perseus Chapman?
I think I'm still on the ship, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm the getaway driver.
You
We need
hear.
to.
You hear. Well, I don't know what you hear actually. I guess it depends on if you keep your like comms on or not.
I don't see why we wouldn't. My assumption is that they're always on.
Okay, if that's the case, you hear gunfire.
Well, that's to be expected.
All right, going to
Pretty much right on schedule, yeah.
Yeah.
I had like put in the song of the appropriate length, like in Baby Driver. I'm like, yep,
Nice.
that is when the fire begins.
I think there's one roll that applies to you out there.
Oh my.
Doesn't happen. Okay.
I feel like we should stop that guy. Somebody should go and stop that guy before he is able to help out the slavers against Jorgelson.
I'll do it.
All right. Yeah. What do you do?
Well, Marcello also has his cutlass drawn, and he's going to run across. He's going to run across that that area to the guy, and just try to give him a good thrust.
Nice.
So.
That's
Definitely.
good rolling.
Yeah.
That good?
Yeah. Roll
Wait,
for.
yeah. So, So he runs across
3d6.
silently, and sort of rushes at the end to give a little momentum into his thrust,
Oh.
and yeah, has to put it right in his back.
All right.
3d6 is the damage.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. Same thing. You seriously wound him. Now he's left. Should have said unconscious. These are not actually dead. Dying is a better way to describe it. You slice through his side and open up a big wound, and he slumps forward holding his wound and starts crawling along the ground and moaning and screaming. There is
He's
enough.
not unconscious.
He is effectively unconscious. Yeah, just moaning and screaming and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's still enough chaos going on in here, though, that it's not like all of a sudden everybody.
Maybe we need to run since we've helped Jorgelson just now, but I think if we get found with a couple of bodies, we need to skedaddle.
You can see in here, Marcello, that some of these people just like dive for for an exit. Other people pull out weapons. Some of them like hop up and across from these platforms where the slaves are traded, and they are moving towards Borgelson to fight. And you can hear him laughing, delighted at this. And let me see how they're doing.
These sword worldlers are cut from a different cloth, clearly.
One of the sword worlders, you see, Marcello, as you start to turn to move, gets cut down by rifle fire, but they managed to kill every last one of these Imperials. And
Jesus.
additionally, well, knock them unconscious, but that's going to end up being the same thing in this situation. And then you see this sword worlder enter this a sword fight with this wasteland mutant, and is able to overcome him and cut him down, and then like leaps over the unconscious body of that one to try to fight the next one that's rushing toward him.
Wow.
Meanwhile, back to you all. What are you doing?
I'm going to shout out to my crew to the ship.
Yeah.
All right.
Marcello's going to retreat to the party. Clearly, the sword worlders have the situation under control, and I figure we should just skedaddle.
How many?
I'll ask the captain. Are we gonna leave without our guests?
I would prefer not to. I do. I mean, can I? How many are they still fighting?
At this point, you can see there are kind of two things happening. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that they're fighting against 2.
Okay.
And then there are a bunch of people coming your way, one of which already sees you and is running towards you.
Okay. They've gone mad. You've got to save us.
Yeah. All right. He runs up and he sees that you have all these slaves, and he's like, What's happening? What's happening? He's got this look of terror on his face. He's this little kind of chubby, short mutant man.
The crazy sword worlders are at it again.
Oh no! Oh son, no! And then he holds his melee weapon and then like nervously starts to like come towards this fray, terrified. Yeah. Is the goal to try to get out of here?
I feel bad for these people. I feel bad for everybody involved, but we owe something of an obligation to Captain Bjorgolfsson at this point. Do you all agree? Or do we just cut our losses? Or not? They're not even losses yet.
I mean, it feels weird to put him in the same category as Isabella, but sure.
Well, it's better than these slavers anyway.
That's true. That's undoubtedly true.
All right. So then, that being said, I'm going to try to chop that guy down too, I guess. Or
You can. You will get surprised since you basically, started running past you. If you dishonorably seek to slice him across the spine, oh no.
No, that's dishonorable indeed.
Yeah. Well, he turns around at this slash and has a look of shock and horror on his face as he sees that he's that he's surrounded by potentially a whole bunch of different enemies. Presumably, Isabella, you all have taken off their restraints. I don't know, maybe not.
I don't know if we've had time.
Probably haven't had time, yeah. But you could in short order. But meanwhile, everybody else can act if you want.
By all means. Act away, people.
It's your turn again.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I'm going to come right around by the captain with my cutlass. I'm going to like make a move on this guy and like try to slice him.
All right.
Try to slice him in the legs. Oh, sorry.
Nice. Because you have what? Probably
His cutlass is 1.
cutlass
What I'm
1.
looking at, and then Dex is -1, sadly.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Not great.
All right. I think. Let me look at the bonuses. You are doing a cutlass versus nothing. So you get a +4. I wouldn't even bother to look except if it gets close, but yeah, +4, and then you're on close range in the open. Yeah, you still hit. Basically, without armor in this game and being out in the open is absolutely devastating.
Poor guy. All right.
That's 10. Yeah, you cut out his legs from under him, and he starts crawling as well and bleeding, and starts to bleed out. Starts screaming, however. And at this point, you can hear the yelling as more people are coming.
Alright, we gotta go.
Okay, Captain. We gotta go. We gotta
Yeah.
go.
I agree. Let's go.
Let's hurt
I'd
our
like to
friend.
think-
We've done our part. I think we've
Maybe
done our part.
Lothak was also, still ushering our new slaves back to the ship while that was happening.
Alright. Let's see. That's another one down. And by this point, you can see they've initiated a kind of fighting retreat now. But if at that point you had tried to run, you would have only saw that just around the corner, Marcello, or well, actually, Captain Bellamy. You would have seen that they are fighting as they go. Meanwhile, you encounter several more of these people.
Play dumb. It's chaos in there. The prisoners are killing people.
They point weapons at you and they say, well, actually, that sounds really tough given the chaos. Let's do roll under your social.
Oh, God.
I know. It's a tough one.
Marcello, tell him. I fail miserably.
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, they tell you that one of them yells out and he says, get back in the atrium. Get down. Get back in the atrium. Take those slaves back to the pen. We'll hold it here.
Yes, whatever you say. So I guess we'll just try to ambush them again as they come by.
Exactly.
It looks
yeah.
like
Yeah.
it looks like they're the ones setting up an ambush. You can see them taking cover around here, and trying to prevent anybody from escaping.
Oh boy.
Let's just dip around into the pens so that we can gather ourselves, and then we're just gonna have to make a push.
All right,
Yeah.
so you run back and go into the slave pens. You can see at this point empty slave pens, as this was toward the end of the auction. There's nobody else in here. You just smell the smell of human refuse and body stench, and
They're trying to capture these guys as they come around from the northwest. Let's flank them.
I have a thought. Question for you, Ross. So is our ship over to the west?
to the west. Yes,
Okay.
indeed.
I wonder if it would be ridiculous or feasible to fire our new guns down this corridor where there seems to be a concentration of these guys.
Nice. Do you have anyone on that gun though, or did?
You're right. I didn't think about that. That's like a different station.
Well, I suppose you could go get on the gun though.
You could run over to the gun real quick.
Position the ship to aim the gun real quick, and then just let one loose down the hallway.
Are you going to tell us? Are you going to tell us to keep our heads down over the
Problem
guns?
with that is that if it doesn't work, like they're gonna kill all of us. They're gonna realize that we're their threat.
It does seem ridiculous idea. But Captain, at your word, I can come out from the ship with my own gun and be ready to back you up from the opposite side, coming from the west.
Just stay on the helm.
You got it.
Keep her hot.
All right. Ross just rolled a lot of dice, so I think something's about to happen.
Let me actually, let's see here. Roll some more dice.
Marcello's gonna sheath his cutlass and shoulder his auto rifle.
Yeah, likewise.
All right, so you're back in the slave pens. It's clear they're trying to block the exits with, like, you know, lines of rifle fire as best they can to at least prevent anyone from escaping. That you know, try to get out of here with a bunch of free slaves, just as an example. So, what do you do?
Okay, well, so like I said, we need to try to flank them. Come around from that eastern exit.
All right. All right.
Is that guy? Is this an actual wall here between us and the two guys in the hallway there?
Yes. I don't know. That should actually be showing up as a wall, but yes, that's a wall.
Okay. In that case, I say we dip out from the right-hand door and take some shots at this guy who's guarding that eastern exit there. Which will really confuse the hell out of everybody in the hall and cover Bjorgulfsson's exit, and he will cover ours.
Okay, you're gonna try to pin them down to the east, just to get Bjorgulfsson a chance to get an exit.
Yeah, and force them to think in two directions. Yeah.
What do you guys think?
A fine gambit to me.
I mean, that's up to you right now. If you guys all die, I'm fine.
Sort of. It's not that easy to run it by yourself, but yeah. Pick up a new crew somewhere else.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so who pops out around the corner? Is there...
Who's a better shot?
Well, I think. Let me look at.
Yeah, you could have Shipley do it. She's got an 8.
Yeah.
You got Books he's a 5.
Yeah. So it's. I'm gonna have Shipley. Yeah. No, I'll do it.
All right. Roll a d6 then. All right. No one is surprised. They do see you. However, you are attacking, and you can attack. Oof. Man. All right. They are going to get to attack back this time. They start shooting back on their turn. Now, let me take your 3 here, and let's look at all of... you've got a lot of different things. I think it's just going to miss because... Alright, -1 with cover. And then... You've got... -5, because you're in a building interior undercover. Which brings you at -6. And you are at medium range, which brings you to -4. So that one will miss, and his will miss. One of the things about these gun battles is it takes a lot of back and forth. It's very hard to hit, actually, in cover and stuff like that. But you've noticed they don't have armor. But anyways, you do have their attention, so there is that. And one of them even comes back, and you can see his head poking around the corner at this point, trying to look and help his friend. So
Now I'm going to ask Shipley to go and flank from the other side.
On the east, or like go to the west?
To the west.
Shipley?
Yeah.
Okay. Shipley runs into Captain Bjorgelson and his last remaining crew member, and he's just like, "We should go now."
We're trying.
I'm just picturing him like soaked head to toe in blood.
Yeah. They immediately take up this, and Shipley's like, "There's a lot of them." And there's like a whole crowd of them screaming and running.
All right. Well, then we need to run. Then go back left. Let's all just all pile out together.
Okay, so
and just be a porcupine of gunfire.
All right, a couple of things then. So you were trying to do an escape, right? Or are you trying to get out? All right, so you can attempt to make an escape because you left this encounter over here, and they are at medium range, so you need to roll an 8. Marcello, could you please roll 2d6 to get an 8? There's no modifier, you just have to get an 8.
Absolutely.
Otherwise you'll enter an encounter. Oof.
Uh-oh.
Alright. So you spill out into the hallway. Yeah. Get everybody together. It's hard to see in this tight space. But I'm going to start putting all the tokens together. Roll a d6, Bellamy. See if they're surprised by all these people. Oh, it's okay. Alright, so nobody is surprised. You are attacking, so you're able to make it, like, you know, most of your movement all the way down to the hall. But then they are going to get a chance to shoot people. And they're going to shoot whoever's here in the back. Oh, no!
No.
What?
Isabella.
Isabella's in the back.
We're running. Oh, it's a good
Oh, no. No.
Wow.
No,
right.
she was the best of us.
So it's 9, and then you're in a building interior at a -5, which is a 4, but +1 is a 5, and we're also doing, let's see, rifle versus nothing.
Is Defender running part of it?
Is 8. Yeah, let's see here. Actually, I don't think it helps. Limits, concealment, cover. No. Any member is... Yeah, none of this is going to help. Oh, no.
Would it help if I had been laying down some suppressing fire as we retreated?
It could have, but I don't think we did that.
We were just kind of booking it.
We were booking it. Got it.
Here we go. These are the allowed dice modifiers. This is what I was looking for. Defender evading, but you're not in an evasion. You're not undercover. She doesn't have armor.
We can't be considered to be evading?
No, evading means that you're doing, you did the evasion. So, like, I mean, attacker, let's see, blah, 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 blah. Maybe, I guess that makes sense, because you're either going to do it or not, so, where is it? Allowed die modifiers. So I will. All right. There's a lot of them here. So,
Yeah.
but
If this is a
it's kind of
military, this is a
important,
military type scenario. All of us are war veterans, so we will have been shouting things like "keep your head down," you know, like that kind of thing. I don't know.
So they got a -5, which brings it to a 4, and then at range, range is medium, which is no modifier actually. A rifle versus nothing is a 7, and this is good news because then with evading, I'll say you have a -1, so it barely misses her if I add all that together. All right, let's see how the her companion fares. An 8, and that's good. So that would then miss. All right, so. All right, you make it to the bay of the ship as they're firing at the ship and stuff.
All aboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, all aboard, and I'm going to be toward the back, so
Well,
we don't
yeah.
have to...
I'll ask Shipley to hop on the gun if the gun is in
You're
any
gonna
way.
just shoot him anyway.
Why the hell not?
For justice. Just like,
yeah, that's right.
Just because it makes me happy. Just do it anyway.
I mean, it's this
I
dirty,
didn't
filthy,
get paid for this one.
Dirty, filthy, irradiated slavers. You know, that's anti-life. You know, put them in the ground.
Yeah, you can do that as long as everybody else is okay with it.
I mean, you know, I'll take a quick poll. I'm not saying hang around and make just pour on fire until you don't see anything moving anymore. I'm just saying as we leave.
Yeah, sure.
Just
not a bad plan anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That is covering fire. Make them take cover.
Gigantic cannon. Okay, yeah, you do that. All right, so you hear this like percussive thudding as as you apply power, Chapman, and you hear the engines come back to life, and you start to lift off, and the curling vortices of brown dust from the edge of this lakefront near this cavern entrance curls around either side of the Lady of Mercia as you take off with an emaciated and in not great condition group of red sun workers, including Isabella. You just
At least not dead.
You just hear her whisper, "Thank you."
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your pilot speaking. Welcome aboard the Lady of Mercia. Please strap in. Arms and legs inside the vehicles at all times. We're about to let loose. Haul ass out of here.
Nice. Then you make it out of there.
Now where?
Oh boy.
So Captain Bjorgelson, he says, "That was fun."
Sorry about your guy.
Oh yeah, one of them is dead. That is correct. I will see him again in Valhalla.
Pause. That's a great outlook on life.
Well, thank you for your help.
So, I suppose you'll be wanting to fly back and, pushes his cloak away from his gun again. Cash in on this, on your job. And then his companion also gets their gun ready. Assumes that you're gonna kill him.
Now, as I recall, we have sufficient evidence of your death as needed to fulfill our business.
Yeah, we took pictures of
No
Bjorgolfsson.
more blood needs to be spilled today.
Yeah, we got everything we need.
Unless you want to, I guess. But that's, I mean, you got your hobbies. I don't judge.
I suppose in this situation I'm rather grateful for your deception.
I don't like too much blood on the ship. Russ froze up. We didn't hear some of that. I heard the word "ception." I don't know what was the precursor to that.
Yeah, it's coming back. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Hear you now.
I have internet disruptions at night sometimes. I don't know. But anyways, Captain Bjorgelson, he says, interesting. Once again, a group of Imperials being deceptive, stabbing each other in the back. I sometimes think that is our best chance, given how large the Imperium is. The amount of backstabbing you do to one another.
It's not backstabbing.
Well,
The Bjorgelson we were supposed to meet and kill, we met and killed. We got pictures, just like we were supposed to. And that's all there is to it.
you get the sense
I would
that...
argue.
Oh, go ahead.
I would argue that the gig economy is painfully honest and forthright.
Well, I don't know about that, actually, Chapman. You see, I think that this entire job is, one constructed on deception.
So what are we supposed to do about it?
Well, you could drop me off at my ship, and I could do the best I could to try to get my crew back and get my ship flying again. If it is the will of the gods, I will. But I think if you travel back to you travel back and try to turn in this evidence, I think that you'll be turned in. I think that you'll be betrayed.
Turned into who?
Imperium.
For what?
For a crime you didn't commit, just like me.
I don't see what the angle in it is for, who is it we're working for again?
Yeah, Yukon is what he goes by anyway.
No, I mean the company.
Nanteri Holdings.
I don't see what the percentage in it would be for them.
I think I could tell you.
Well, come on now. We've fought together. We almost bled together. You know, no need to be cagey.
I agree. He comes in, sits, leans back against the bridge wall, the bulkhead, and he says, I flew cargo for Nanteri Holdings. I told you this. They sell weapons to the Bandit Kings in the Free League. They also sell weapons to the ICZ. I'm inconvenient. You were meant to kill an imposter and then take the fall for the entire thing. As well as... Oh, go ahead.
How do you know that?
Because that man was an imposter. He was not me. My crew did not set that up. Something else was going on.
Like, well, okay, I get that. But maybe all this guy wanted was pictures of a dead imposter.
Maybe.
And a story that would sound good if we were asked about it. We can say we did the job, we met the guy, the deal went bad. Whatever we gotta say. I don't know why we gotta say anything to anybody. I just want to collect and get the hell out of this place.
Well, I don't think that the job was, what you say, above board if they carefully constructed an imposter for you to kill and didn't tell you. I think that they could have easily had you just kill me. But it's up to you. However, I instead wanted to make another a deal with you that I think you might find interesting. What you do with Nanteri Holdings is up to you.
Does it pay?
I think you'll find it pays quite well. He looks at the crew. He says, I notice you're trading here on the fringe in the Spinwood Marches. You don't have a weapon on your ship.
Yeah.
A lot of freelancers, they don't last long if they aren't able to shoot back.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Especially when they
Ain't
get
that the
enemies.
Yeah, well, we're trying not to make enemies here.
Well, I have a little problem myself. I have some loyal crew, and they're fighting these zealots that took over my ship. I want to get my ship back. You help me get my ship back, I'll give you one of my guns.
Sounds like a pretty good deal.
Now, I think, of course, we might need to talk this over as a crew since our next moves are going to be quite important, but you've definitely given us some interesting food for thought.
He sure has.
I happen to know that my crew has split into different groups, and it's just in an old irradiated place full of creatures from the wild and an old abandoned landing pad. My first mate, he needs the crew. He can't take off without the crew. So they're in sort of a war. So it would involve flying or stopping nearby and trying to convince the crew to follow me instead. I also need a crew. Let me know. He walks out.
All right, a lot to talk about here.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Well, okay, first things first, the Nanteri job.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts?
Do you think that we really were set up to be the fall guys?
I think that Bjorgulfson's story is a much bigger stretch and rests on a lot more weird assumptions than the pretty straightforward Nanteri wanted this guy assassinated and they got duped because there was an imposter out there.
Well, see, I could even buy his story up to a point, to the point of us being set up to kill a fake Bjorgulfsson. But, you know, to me, that just means that Nanteri wants the real Bjorgulfsson alive still because he's useful to them somehow. And they wanted to show that to somebody that Bjorgulfsson was dead and let the pressure off of him. That's what I say. But I also say it doesn't matter because the job was done. According to the specifications, we got all the things we need. We just got to turn the sucker in. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
I'm not
it's,
sure.
you know, if if we believe Bjorgulfsson, then it's a huge risk. But all of this is a huge risk. They could have hired some wasteland tweakers to kill the guy. You know, if it was just a fake setup, why would they need to hire somebody with an actual starship to do it? What I get, unless
What did Nanteri offer as payment exactly?
200,000.
I wonder how.
Am I? I'm not misremembering that, am I, Ross? That was what was on the card, and that was what was
That's
supposed
right.
to be the job. Okay,
Yeah, and you were going to actually get the payment from this, you know, Bjorgulfsson, but then it got blown up. But then he even mentioned that he was like, "But we'll make sure you're paid."
Yeah, I'm wondering as a precaution, maybe we can do our handoff for payment, as you know, in a safe circumstances where none of us are like exposed or able to be abducted or anything. But otherwise, I think the job is still pretty straightforward, and then I know that Bjorgulfsson is certainly put a lot more effort into trying to influence us than the Nanteri guys were.
I mean, he had to go through who knows how much effort to make his way through the wilderness and hide out there for however long he was out there, or maybe he just caught up to us when the deal was about to go down. But that's, yeah. One more piece of due diligence we can do though is we can try, Marcello, and see whether or not you can poke around inside Nantari's computers. See if you can find any material at all about Bjorgulfsson, or about their weapons dealings and his impact on them, or something like that. Like he said, like this guy says anyway, he's flown for them before. So
Yeah. So
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out why they want. Anyway, it doesn't
And
matter.
I think
Go ahead.
I think you already did that. If I recall correctly, you attempted to do that, and what we remember, and you did determine that there were these reports of this guy, and then the reports vanished like 4 months ago. And
Well,
then,
that was the planetary network. That was what he was able to find out. I'm talking about.
and I think we said that you would need access to like a hard computer system, like you would need
Oh,
to
yeah.
actually get to a computer to find out
That's
more
right.
information.
Well,
it's a little tough.
Which you can do. I'm just clear. You know, I think we'd talked about that before.
okay. Here's what we do. We set up some cover for ourselves. Okay. We've got Isabella back. All right. We've got. We've got witnesses. Okay, witnesses to what we just did. We heroically rescued, genuine Imperial representatives, and from a horrible fate, and got her to attest to that. I say we drop her and everybody else off first, make a full report to all her people, and then we head back to Nantari and turn in the job. Give them a chance to get the news.
Yeah.
So that we're a little bit more above ground. We're not quite as easy to just take in and because it's not like we were violating Imperial law by being out there. That whole place was we were rescuing Imperial citizens from slavery.
I think we should also tell all the Red Sun folks about our experience, or well, the ones that we trust the most about things, just in case things do go really badly for us. There's at least someone out there who's aware of the risk that maybe we got betrayed by Nantari.
Okay.
Sure, that makes sense.
All right. Well, let me brief this back so I can try to simplify this, condense it down to like a couple of sentences here. What I'm hearing you say is, well, first of all, what are you going to do with Bjorgulfsson? He does not want to go back to where he would literally get arrested. So there's that.
I was going to say that's our other order of business.
And
is
then
what's our future with?
You also have the place with the money near the bunker. So I don't know what you want to do with that, just as a reminder. But
well, there's no reason Bjorgulfsson has to get off the ship.
I mean, except that
unless
he wants to. You know, he wants
right.
to get
Well,
his
no.
ship back.
What I mean is, as far as getting arrested, he doesn't have to disembark. He doesn't have to. Nobody has to know that he's on the ship.
Oh, he definitely doesn't want to like fly into enemy territory and stay smuggled on an Imperial free trader in Imperial territory. Yeah.
Okay.
But you could also just like literally land and kick his butt off. I mean, you don't know each other or anything at this point. And
I was going to say, if we dropped him off somewhere that he liked and it wasn't too far out of our way, I'd be fine with that. I am not particularly interested in his job offer.
Well,
I
no,
like
there's
the
a
jobs
gun.
where we don't risk dying.
There's a gun.
I missed that. Could you say that again?
We're talking. Oh, Marcello said it was
I'm
a
not
lot of
the
money.
most comfortable with the work that keeps putting us in the line of fire, because his sounds like it will inevitably lead to violence and us at the center of it. Doing all of that just so that we can get a gun, which will make us even less reluctant to engage in violence, feels like a path that is unwise and unprudent to start down.
Free gun. I would normally agree with everything you just said, Chapman. But I mean, you know how
What's
much
the
a
gun
gun
involved?
costs? You remember that encounter we had where the only reason we survived it was because an escort showed up? You know, little things like that just
Did
give
we not
me
just
give me
acquire
nightmares.
a gun for our ship? I mean, I don't know if it's.
That's going to be useless in space.
Yeah, I had a feeling. Like when the space pirates show up, that's not going to do us much good.
I mean, if they board the ship, we could start blasting holes in our own hull, I guess, or something.
Yeah, maybe
Um,
the internet maybe went out, but I think it's like 1,000,000 credits for a pulse laser.
yeah, and that's the cheapest. I don't know what he's offering. He didn't mention it. I'm assuming it's the cheapest. I'm assuming it's a pulse laser. Probably a single, right? So,
Yeah, he'll tell.
whatever.
Yeah, he'll tell you as much that he's only offering one, and that it's a pulse laser, and that he knows a place that it can get installed in 3 weeks. So it would take
So
3 weeks away from the ship as well, you know, because they would have to actually do the maintenance work to put it on. But
now, if there's, let's say, is this a viable timeline? We could drop off Bjorgulfsson somewhere he wants. Then we can go drop off our Imperial Sun folks, Red Sun, and debrief them on everything. We can go try to collect our Nanteri payment. And if that goes south and we make it out alive, then can we go meet up with Bjorgulfsson and take him up on his offer?
Yeah, I mean that's sound that's perfect.
but
But if he's wrong about Nanteri and they do a completely straight deal with us, I am not as inclined to trust his judgment about these
Well,
things.
the problem with that is if he's right, we'll be imprisoned or killed by them when we try to
Dead.
complete the deal.
I think my internet lagged out. I apologize, so I missed it. So I hear one vote against the. Well, anyways, actually, what I'm hearing now is drop him off either way, and then head to cash in this job, and then if you're going to come back, then you come back. So it sounds
Yeah.
like this could be a tomorrow
Yeah.
problem, anyways, right?
Drop him
Yeah,
off, drop them off, then go to Nanteri, then see if we can, uh, reconnect with him.
Yeah.
He offers you a comm that his dead comrade had, and he says, "It's not too far out of your way. If you could take me closer to where the Votensai is, I would be very grateful. Though I have nothing else to offer you. You know, he."
He wants us to drop him off closer to his ship.
Yeah, just like in the wasteland, you know. Just drop him off, and and him and his final companion will go out guns blazing and try to get his crew back on his side and try to get his ship back. That's his plan.
So it's with him now or nothing.
No, no, no. I'm just saying that right now he's saying if you're going to drop him off, just please do drop him off in the waste so he can go to his ship.
Yeah. I mean,
That seems okay, although I smell a rat. That's all right. Maybe we might get it. Maybe we'll get another chance to use that gun.
All right. So do you approach?
Yeah, we'll follow his
All right. He tells you one of the factions that is fighting. I think they actually have got a heavy gun emplacement. So I would suggest dropping me off, approaching low, Chapman, close to the earth, and then dropping me off 60 kilometers away.
What kind of heavy gun emplacement?
Similar to the one you have. It could pose a danger to the ship, I think. Just wanted to let you know that we had seen this.
Yeah, I don't think it'll pose much of one, but oh, I am tempted to kill it, but I know it's not our business.
That would only help me out, but now, out of character, I think it could. I think it's possible it could damage the ship, just to clarify. If
You might
not,
wanna...
if not, it is simply a gun that could damage the ship. That is the whole. That is what
Okay.
it is. So, yeah. But you could also, you know.
I mean, I don't know because I haven't looked terribly deeply into Classic Traveler as far as spaceship weapons. But
Yeah.
as,
The specific gun is not the point. The point is that
Yeah.
he's basically saying there's an anti-aircraft threat there. But he says, I would, if you would like to try, it would be useful for me because they are crazy. The faction that has that gun is a bunch of crazy people, and I would benefit if they would be atomized.
No, that sounds like the kind of job we need a lot of money up front for.
As I said, I have nothing left to offer you, Captain.
Understood. I think we'll just have to let you take your chances for now, and we'll be in touch. Hopefully you're still alive in a few days.
You've been more than fair, everyone, and I'm grateful. But as far as hopefully still being alive, hopefully I will die well. And he waits, until Chapman, till you get closer to the ground, and stop long enough to get the cargo open. Him and his friend jump out, and you can continue on.
Good night, sweet prince.
The sword worlders, they sure have a death wish, don't they?
Seems that way.
But
But
they're
we
fun.
seem to be
and
having,
I-
yeah, exactly. Just
I
having a
will
good
miss
time.
having them on the ship.
Possibly not. At least we don't have to fight over the lavatory.
They've taken up the staterooms, that they can. They're not in great shape. Velez is with them, with the survivors. What do
Who
you do?
has let's give him some medical attention. We've got some medical skill amongst us. Unless it's just malnutrition and it's just a matter of time and rest.
Let me take a look. Not myself and not books. The
Okay.
ship.
I do.
I
I don't know if I got it.
One minute.
All right, Shipley's got one and Bellamy's got one. So we'll spend some time, tending to them.
And where are we flying back to? Not Golan yet, but to our original destination where we had first dropped off the Imperial Red Sun. Is that right?
Well, I guess what we want to do is go back to the spaceport.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All right. So you start
Are we
heading
gonna,
back.
I mean, we can ask them like, what do they want to do next? Because I know their whole plans were like thrown into
Well, she doesn't even know that yet. Only Velez knows that. She was taken when she still was full of hope. That's one of the reasons she got out. She was getting ready to begin her work, and then there was a big riot, and she was kidnapped. And in the meantime, he discovered that the mission was basically canceled. So she will have been receiving that news while we were talking to Captain Bjorgulfsson, unless Velez didn't have the heart to tell her.
She's probably not in the best shape, but Velez will happily talk to you. So, if you go and check on him, that's what you'll find there. Who goes back and talks to him? Marcelo, you want to?
Yeah, I'll do that. And I'll also just real quickly moonlight as a steward a little bit. So I'm gonna bring some flagons of water. See what I can do in terms of like a hot meal. Just some niceties, because I know that they've been through a hard time. So I just want to make sure that they're a little bit taken care of. Not medically, I don't have that skill, but just
Shipley's
so
probably
that,
got a better bedside manner than me, so I'll just have her accompany. She can accompany Marcello. I think they're our 1-2 social punch.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, Lothak, we have a literal dog.
It's very empathetic.
literal dog.
Lothak is like, okay. And she gets up and goes back to help try to feed them and stuff.
No, at Lothak, but you have that like small world charm. You come off less rough around the edges than all of us roughnecks.
She scratches her fur and she's like, "Thank you. I that was some gunfight we had back there, by the way." She smiles.
Oh boy,
I think I
he's
could
gonna be one of us pretty soon, and she's losing her innocence.
I think I can. I think I'm really getting the hang of this. She smiles and goes back. Okay, so yeah, Shipley, and Lothak, they start working on stuff, to help you, Marcello. Velez approaches you. He seeks you all out, and he says they're exhausted and they had been beaten. And oh, good, you're bringing them some things to eat and drink. I'd encouraged them that they needed to eat and drink, so this is good.
Certainly. How are their spirits? How are their spirits coming out of that?
Not good, Marcello. I told Isabella that our mission was canceled, and now we do not.
How did she take it?
Not well. She's weeping. But at least we have our lives. I suspect that we'll need to try to find our way back now. But having come through the Spinward Marches and the Bowman Arm, I see that that's quite a problem. We don't have the funds to make it all the way back to the core. And we can't stay here. This place is a war zone, and we're not welcome here.
So in a perfect world, where would you want to end up?
In several months or years' time of travel and making it ship by ship, it's like he's like his mind can't even comprehend, just because he needs to cross multiple sectors, a portion of the known galaxy to get home. But he says, actually, I have to look. Oh, here it is. I was like, no, I know it's bigger. I was just looking at Deneb, which is like a super sector. The domain of Deneb. Let's see, the core of the Imperium. Sorry, my computer's being slow. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Traveler map just froze up.
I mean, oh boy, that especially when you're changing the scale, when you're like scrolling in or out, and it like has to load a new scale to render. It's when it gets a little bit
Oh,
rough.
it usually goes really well for me, but I have been having internet issues.
It's probably because of the video transmission.
They'll just, he says, oh, what is this place? The Celian Worlds. fascinating. He says depot is eventually the world would need to make it back to. It's far in the Imperial core.
Now,
Well,
this is a bit out of character, but this was within recent memory of all of our crew's discussions. Even back when we were at the main government building, when they found out the bad news, we'd also heard that the Governor General, if he were to regain control, he probably would be inclined to kick out the religious nuts, the orange folks, and orange sunbursts, that's what they were, and probably reinstate whatever the actual Imperium improved institutions would have been, I imagine. I don't know if that's a viable angle for the Imperial Red Sun to hold on to hope at all, but
well, it's doubtful. Doubtful to me, anyway. I think we're still in the bridge. But yeah.
Yeah.
Listening to Marcello's talk.
Listen, Velez, you know that we ourselves have we've got a destination that we're heading to. So,
Did
we
you
can help
discuss
you.
that with him?
No.
No, go ahead. No, you, Marcello. I out of character. I'm sorry. I can't remember if that was talked about with Velez.
I don't remember, but I think I'm assuming that they must know that we're heading somewhere, right? We're not staying here. Or is not the case?
Yeah,
I don't know.
he responds with surprise. He says, "Oh, you're not going to continue free trading in the Bowman Arm? Where do you intend to go?"
Well, we've got some business a little further along. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, I see. Yes,
Yeah.
well, we're very grateful for everything that you've done for us so far. I don't suppose it would be... No, it is. It is a great deal to ask because we cannot afford passage, but if you could... Seems an impossible favor to ask a free trader. If you all would be willing to allow us at least to travel with you until you find passengers. I understand then you would have to swap us out for paying passengers, but we'll try to find a way to establish some line of credit to pay for the life support, but as far away as we can get from here is best.
Marcello sort of has a little distant look in his eye, and I understand. I understand the difficulty that you're in. I'm not going to be able to speak for the captain, who is going to be the final word on this matter. But I can't see where it would be a horrible detriment to us to keep you along until we find other passengers. You've got to realize that, we're not going to be able to help you get to your final destination. And you're going to have to come up with some resources to get to where you actually want to go. I don't know if that's like some contact you can make with your order, or I don't know. Maybe you just have to scrap by as well, improvise. But yeah, I just have to let you know that we can't help you get all the way to where you need to go.
You're right, of course. He has this look of horror in his eyes, the idea of scrapping by, because he's seen people scrapping by in some of these starports. But yeah, the realization is starting to dawn on Velez. You can see on his face that perhaps their lives may be irreparably changed. They may never be either experience the comforts they had in the Corps, neither will they have the mission that they so bravely sought out here to get. That instead they'll face the poverty and the reality of life out here on the fringe.
Come on, man, don't forget, you are still a citizen of the Imperium. And, yeah, I mean, I think you need to, I think you need to try to get in touch with the people who sent you out here, frankly.
He takes his outfit and he straightens it, forces himself to like kind of straighten up. He's like, "You're right. We do represent the Imperium, and we need to continue to try to do our best and not give up." Puts his arm on your shoulder. He says, "Thank you, Marcello."
Right, stiff upper lip. Come on, man.
And he starts helping actually. Lothak and Shipley helping to feed and tend to the passengers. Meanwhile, Chapman, you get a comm signal. Now, this would be the navigator. It would show up, usually I think, well, actually, Books would receive this. But
Right.
with him not here, it's also available on the MFDs that show up. You have a discrete video call, and yes, I'll say that video can appear on your displays.
Must be short range.
Mm.
Yeah, let's hit it.
I don't see any harm in answering, unless that ends up being a backdoor for a hacker. But that's always in the back of my mind. We don't have to go those kinds of things.
These hackers.
Yeah, a display comes up and it's Yukon. Yukon has a forced smile on his face, but you can tell that there's something sour behind the expression. And he says, "Greetings, crew of the Lady of Mercia. How goes the job?"
Captain, you're still on the bridge, right?
Oh yeah, I'm right here. It's going great. So you look tense. Everything all right?
I've had better days, but is the job complete?
As far as I'm concerned, we met Bjorgolfsson, blew his land vehicle up, took as much of the money as we could that was still around, took pictures of his body. We'll be on our way back to you soon enough, I think. Just got one more errand to run.
I see. I'm wondering, what evidence do you have that he was killed?
Well, didn't you? I'm gonna push the button. I'm gonna push the record button.
You can do that.
Okay. By the way, SOP on the Lady of Mercia, all incoming and outgoing communications are recorded.
Okay. Yeah, you could do that.
Well, we've got what you asked for. Do we need more?
You're going to deliver his remains.
Oh, I thought you wanted to have, what proof? I suppose we could stop by and pick them up.
What evidence do you have, Captain? Please just tell me.
Took a lot of photos from a bunch of different angles.
I see. Can you send this information, and then you receive some, like a data packet? Can you please send it here, and I would like to issue your payment remotely. Instead of hard credits.
Why?
Is Marcello around?
He's speaking to our passengers right now.
I hate to, I hate to interrupt that, but I would very much like to see him if it's possible.
Is
Uh,
it
y-
business?
I just wanted to check and see that everything is okay, but if he's
yeah.
unavailable, I understand.
I'm sure he can make himself available soon enough. I'll duck my head out the door. Cello.
On the video, like you just like look out from the cockpit from the bridge.
What is it, Captain?
Just get in here.
And a phone call for you.
Awesome.
What? For me? What? All right. Sorry, Velez. Just a minute. Make my way up.
I told you about taking personal calls during work hours.
I didn't make the call, Dad. Okay.
All right.
All right.
I'll usher him in front of
All
the
right.
camera.
Okay. Then Marcello, when you come onto the bridge, you see on some of the displays that that Books has brought up, you can see a video feed of Yukon. And Yukon, he smiles and he said, but you can tell the smile is forced, and there's something painful behind the smile. And he says, Marcello, it's good to see you. You're well, I hope.
Doing pretty good, actually. Thank you. But how are you?
I've, some days work can be kind of rough on some days, Marcello. I just wanted to say, I know I said all that stuff about settling down and planting a flag and making a decision ultimately, and how travelers, they burn bright and they burn out, but I guess Marcello, to be honest, I don't think I'll ever get to stop being a traveler. I just am a traveler that's not traveling.
I share worried
Uh,
glances around the bridge.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that.
Sounds like a guy is
Yeah.
about to will all of his possessions.
Yeah. Hey, Yukon. Yeah, snap out of it for a minute here. You're not making yourself terribly clear, and it's over the distance. It's a little hard for me to unravel what it is you're actually saying to us.
Is this a private call?
And I look around at you guys. I'm gonna take this on my private line. Anyway, so what I do is I grab a pair of headphones and I slap it over my ears and
But you run like a computer routine to encrypt it or something like that too while you're at it, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's what he's
Sure.
asking. I don't know.
Yeah, basically he's asking
Sure.
if you have like a recorder on, essentially, or if
Oh.
it's bugged, or if it's open, or or if you're transmitting in other frequencies, at the same time.
Like, no, you're not on speakerphone.
Exactly.
We lie.
And yeah, I'm saying you can lie, is I guess what I'm saying, or you can say no, it is recorded, or you can turn it off or whatever. But he's asking if this is discreet or not.
I see. I am going to look at him straight in the eye, tell him, "Oh, this is not being recorded."
Nice.
Perfect. What you say is just between you and me.
All right. Well, I guess I just wanted to say that I had to really pull some strings to actually issue this payment, but I wanted to do it, and I really hope I wish you all the best, and I hope everything works out okay out there, and Marcello,
Well, it sounds like you're. Yeah, go ahead.
I think sometimes it might be better to just get buried out there.
Hold on here, Yukon. What is going on? I mean, it sounds like you wanted to do the honorable thing to make us or to get us paid. But what is the situation behind the scenes there? It sounds like something has come down, broken. There's some kind of pressure happening on you.
There's nothing else I can say, and the job is ended. Bright stars. And then the feed ends.
Wow.
Okay. I guess we'll.
You got 200,000 credits. I like to imagine that these things work like, it's sort of weird to say this, but like how well, there's a better way to...
Like a bank heist.
No, like a encoded... Like an NFT, like there's like a code, you know, like
the money transfer.
Yeah, the way money works is it can be hard or it can be soft, and that's kind of how I imagine it. Is it can be either way, and you can transfer them either way. So, and that it has some ability to be sort of coded so that you know that but you have 200,000 credits, so that happens.
Right.
Then then we will definitely have made the transmission. If you were assuming we did that, then yeah, we did that.
Who's in favor of checking on Yukon?
Not me. I mean, I feel sorry for the guy, but frankly, I mean, I don't entirely disbelieve everything Bjorgulfsson said either. So that guy seems like a guy that's trapped in a place he doesn't want to be. If he doesn't want to be there, then neither do I. And maybe I could be persuaded otherwise, but we've done enough rescue operations for no money.
But Captain, he was a fellow traveler once too.
Well, yeah, but we don't even know what his trouble is. You know? I mean, what are we supposed to do? Just show up? You think this code's going to work twice? I bet not. I bet this code won't be good a second time. And I bet
I gave him every chance. I gave him every chance to sort of come clean with what was going down behind the scenes there, but he kept it very private. So
yeah, you know what I guess? You know what I want to? I'm going to make my guess, and I hope I never find out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he knew about the Bjorgulfsson imposter.
What I've been saying.
He was probably set up as the guy who's, doesn't know nothing, and he's just offering the job. And he probably just found out that he got caught in the middle once again and used as a tool, just like all of us get to be. That's probably what he meant about his little traveler soliloquy there. Just keep getting screwed. I don't know. But, hey, let's deliver these rescued innocents back to someplace that's a little less exciting.
Little less exciting. So, you exit the Free League if you're flying towards the capital, and you enter Kingston's air control zone. And you're immediately met with a transmission. Incoming traffic. This is Rally Starport Control. Please send your identification. And they're asking for a transponder identification to see who you are.
Is this what they did before?
No.
Okay. We're fueled up. Let's just go.
I mean, skip the planet?
Yeah. Any other business here that I haven't But I mean, I know we could go
Well,
back to the desert and pick up a few more credits, but
I was gonna say, you have not been asked about if we would be willing to take the Imperial Red Sun with us for the next leg of our journey, at least. I imagine you're fine with that.
well, I certainly am now.
This is
After
abrupt.
As
after
as
Yeah,
everything.
we can just pick up.
as you guys are talking, the control zone says comes back and it says, "Be advised, you are entering the starport control zone. This is a restricted airspace. You will stay on your current vector, and you'll transmit your transponder identification immediately, or you will be intercepted."
Yeah, just leave, right? Unless you think.
When they say intercepted, Russ, would we know of that to mean like that they could shoot us down, that they would scramble someone to come engage with us?
Yeah, they could shoot you down or scramble atmospheric fighters or something that could carry guns and missiles. But to clarify, you were just entering this airspace. It's clear that this whole planet is wild. Now, is somebody going to try to hunt you down? You don't know what's going on, and you don't even know what's going on right now with this control zone. But
All right, let's just send the identification, and then if we get any kind of, I don't know, my back the hairs in the back of the neck are kind of twitching right now. I'm waiting for any crosstalk, anything anyone has to say.
Yeah. Let's try sending it on, see what happens.
Yeah.
all right, Chapman, you ident. You send the transponder information. It sends automatically. You receive back a bunch of information. It shows up in red. It actually activates like some panels, like that would be like a warning, But this is a comms warning, and they tell you to stay on your current vector, and that you'll be escorted. But there is no one here yet. You don't see anybody on your sensors escorting you, and you're just now touching into this control zone's airspace. But the information you receive is a warrant for everyone's arrest, including the Red Sun, who it claims have committed acts of terrorism.
Okay. Yeah, let's go.
Oh shit.
All right. So I just want to clarify: no getting the gun, Captain Borgelson, or the credits. You're not going to make a dive toward the wild portions of the planet. You're just going to head to the atmosphere and hit space.
I mean, does Bjorgl... Hold on. The control zone... Thoughts, people?
Do we have to exit the planet from that zone?
No. We can just fly up wherever we want. I suppose we probably should have... If we were going to leave, we probably should have done it before now, so...
When you talk about this, when you talk about like a wild regions, is there any realistic chance of sort of evading pursuit, of sort of slipping into some wild zones where?
Yeah. How far are we from the Free League wasteland?
Yeah, I mean, so most of this planet is wild. I'd mentioned that before, so imagine that you're here, okay? And that this is called the ICZ, the Iterati Control Zone, or Colonial Authority. And you just entered that. Like, you're just crossed over it, and then all this happened. This is kind of near a coast, okay? And then the coast kind of goes like this. And then closer to the coast is Golan. And then in interior of this supercontinent is like the Free League, which is just like radiated wastelands of what used to be here. And that's where Borgelsen's ship is, that's where you did the slave trade, and that's where the bunker is. And you probably made it out to like, here's the bunker, here's the slave trade, and then out here would be his ship.
Let's go back.
But you know,
All
to
right,
be clear,
I
you are
do a
correct. You
Yui.
can just go up like at any point. You can, and as far as evading detection, this is actually a way to evade detection. Is to, instead of going up where they can detect you, you go down and you go nap of the earth, where it would be much harder to detect you.
Yeah, let's turn tail and get on the horn to Bjorgulfsson.
Well,
All right, I do
yeah.
a Yui. We have one last job on this planet, I guess. I mean,
oh,
we're wanted criminals now, in for a penny, in for a pound.
I just want to clarify. So, everybody, so you don't want to leave the planet. You want to go back into the Free League and try to talk to Bjorgulfsson now. Just
I
want to make
don't
sure.
love our chances if they have actual small craft, like fighters. Have I seen any such craft
You
in our
haven't.
time
So
here?
you landed at the starport and you didn't see small atmospheric fighters or anything. You're not really sure what their capabilities are.
Fire up the sensors. I mean, our sensors. I mean, we're not a scout ship, but we're right here near their zone. Like, what's in the air?
Nothing.
Okay, well,
And I
so
don't
maybe
know
it's
that I don't know
maybe
that
it's
it would detect. I don't know that you would detect anti-aircraft systems and anti-starcraft systems or starship systems until they went active and they started tracking you, and then it would announce itself, just like in space.
yeah, but I mean, we would detect other spacecraft moving around.
I agree, and no, you don't detect any.
Well, okay, I'm literally going to put this up to a vote. 2 votes gets it. Okay, option 1, back to the Free League and Bjorgulfsson. Option 2, up to the stars and take our chances.
How badly do you want that done?
You know, I made a lot of decisions. Some of them worked out well, but right now, I think we just need to work as a team, and I'm willing to go with what you guys agree to.
I'm okay going with Bjorgulfsson, seeing how that works out.
I'm interested
We're already.
in yeah. I'm interested in doing that as well.
We're in danger just being here at this point, which is the
Yeah.
thing I wanted to avoid. We can
Okay,
only
so
be in less danger if we acquire a gun.
as we're talking, I want him to be changing course back towards the Free League then.
Yeah, I assume that you're not going to stay in the, this, and you're.
All right. So it's the kind of thing where I'm hoping it's like one of those things where, North Korea issues an arrest warrant for like an American Secretary of State or something. Where it's like, don't you, but if he ever steps foot on this land, he's done, like that
Basically
kind
a
of thing.
symbolic gesture.
I'm hoping that's what it is. Let's be on our way.
The North Korean officials are like, well, he's an international criminal. He violated international law. Yeah, all that
Yes,
kind of
exactly.
stuff. Yeah. Well,
All of our terrorist humanitarians.
Yeah.
You can only hope.
Yes. And keep an eye on the scanner.
All right. So heading towards where you dropped off Bjorgulfsson then. And I assume you do, maneuvers such as like nap of the earth or something and try to keep from being detected. I assume, you do the best you can in the next hour-long atmospheric flight or so to try to remain undetected. And, you have a radio. What do you do? Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to find him or see him, because he's just a person.
Like, can we tie it into the ship comms here?
Sure.
Okay, let's hit that. Yeah, thank you. As soon as you're done, hit that frequency.
All right. Got it.
All right.
I'll let Marcello do the comms honors there.
Torgelson. Are you out there? It's Marcello of the Lady of Mercia.
You hear someone breathing in a mask, and otherwise like howling, like what sounds like winds and static interference and gunfire echoing in the distance. And he's like, "Oh, Lady of Mercia, what a surprise! Welcome."
It's as much a surprise to us as it is to you.
I'm afraid that
But we're heading your way.
I cannot offer much hospitality for my new home as it is right now, nor my ship. Have you reconsidered my offer then?
In a manner of speaking, yes, we have reconsidered your offer. At this point, can you give us coordinates of your location?
We can establish a landing zone, but you'll need to give me 3 hours. I need to ensure that this anti-aircraft battery does not cause any trouble.
In other words, are you going to take it out?
Oh no, it is heavily guarded.
Okay.
And
so what are you going to do?
Yeah, he gives you some coordinates, and they're kind of, you know, like if you dropped him off here, they're like here, so they're like nearby. The point being to try to keep you from coming into range of that weapon. And then of course he's hoofing it, so it takes some time for him to get to an LZ, but he makes you make it to an LZ, and I'm just going to use a blank pad for now in case this comes up or matters. But you meet him out in a, actually I think there's a good, got a dust ball back in the wild. There we go. And let me get rid of this. So he meets you out here in the wild at an LZ, and on the radio he tells you that you should probably wear a rebreather, because it's poisonous, the atmosphere. There's something tainting it nearby, some old industrial things that should not have been left unmaintained from long ago, but they're causing problems. He would suggest wearing a rebreather.
Vac suits.
Fantastic.
You'd wear a vac suit.
You don't have to tell me twice.
I can't remember if we said you could do a vac suit and armor over it. I can't remember.
I thought.
I think no, right?
Didn't we
Or did we
say that a vac suit is the same as cloth armor anyway?
It is the same as cloth armor. I think that's what it was. Yeah, so anyways, you meet him with your helmets on, your vac suit and everything, and he says, if you're still interested in the deal, I should give you some unfortunate updates. You may reconsider. Though I am wondering, everything went well with your job?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you both say that simultaneously.
We got paid.
I
We got paid.
Then Marcello went, yeah, and then like Bellamy went, no, and then like Chapman went, meh, like all at the same time. That's great.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'll never understand you Imperials.
Well,
It is
sorry
easier.
for
It
you.
is easier to work with the Aslan.
You know, you're probably right. Because we sure haven't had much luck working with Imperials either.
These cultural differences are, you know, the spice of life, as they say. So,
Now, is Bjorgulfsson's one remaining shipmate, crewmate, still there? Or is he,
Yeah, Andy's wounded. And
okay.
well, I am very saddened to hear that your job went poorly. Unfortunately, my job, my little adventure here also went poorly. There are two of us, and as it turns out, taking on an army of 150 people in the middle of a crossfire is difficult to do with two assault rifles.
150?
It's a merchant
Fun,
trader
like
ship,
an hour.
and we had a crew of mercenaries, space Viking mercenaries that we'd keep in the crew. Yes, it turns out we had some difficulties.
Okay. It's a nice gun we've got up there. I don't know if it can go up against 150.
It wouldn't work if you did. If we pointed that gun and managed to take out that anti-aircraft battery, that is fine and all, and we should do that. But I need a crew for my ship, and this is sometimes how Space Viking politics works. It gets a little heated.
And sometimes you got to thin the ranks.
I think ultimately I will. But there are loyalists that are fighting out there. I'm having trouble figuring out where they are. But among the remaining groups of people, I think I could convince some to rejoin me. Especially now that they see how poorly things are going. They might be eager to have their captain back.
And also, the more poorly things are going, the better chance of Valhalla.
That is a possibility. That is an option. I can tell you the department heads of my ship that would have taken control of the different groups that are fighting. I don't know where they are, or what their current disposition is, but Salfrin, he is most loyal to me. He was my personal secretary. He has worked for my family ever since he was a young lad, and he knew my father's father. And then there's Magni. Magni is a fanatic. He believes in the Asatro way of life. A religious zealot. He and I have not seen eye to eye, but Magni, he holds the bulk of the fighters. To lose them all would be a loss. And then there's Borfi. Borfi is a very strange man for a space Viking. He was once a scientist in one of the border worlds that you conquered during the last war. Now, out of character, on paper, conquered is not what it looks like. I don't even want to use the word liberated, but like they were reorganized as an autonomous state, but they're a puppet state of the Imperium called the Border Worlds, Border World Confederation, instead of the Sword Worlds. But anyways, Borvi is an interesting man. He was in the Border Worlds after the war, and then he had a change of heart after the war and was radicalized. He became a true believer, and so he is a follower of Magni. But an interesting thing about our religion is he swore an oath to me. So
that means what? If you show up, he's got to come, or what?
Sounds like a personal conflict for him. I suppose we'll have to find out, and he pats his weapon. Anyways, then there's Trask. Trask, they were hired mercenaries. We paid them. But interesting thing about Trask is that of the hired mercenaries, we also hired engineers and techs that work for their company. He unfortunately hates my secretary. And then lastly there's Harkaman. He's a madman, and we should kill him. He has the anti-aircraft battery. My first mate is Lucas. He will no doubt be on the pad with the ship, but it would do us no good to take over the ship and kill his crew if we do not have a crew to man the ship with.
All right, so what's step one?
Uh, he's got a wounded, space Viking, and he kind of like shrugs and he's like, I was actually wondering if maybe you had any ideas. Meaning you all, your crew.
Yeah, well, first of all, let's get that patched up, huh?
Alright.
Now, I think step one has got to be taking out the gun, right? I mean, that's something we can do now. But maybe that's too bold. Maybe we need, you're saying the madman we got to kill is the one who's holding the gun?
That's right. And I think if you drew close to the gun's range, he will see you, I think, unless your pilot can do some pretty impressive flying.
Well,
It's not that impressive.
I look over him a little bit with a side eye and say, well, he does have his moments, and then again, he has his moments.
It seems to me that we will have to try to make an assessment of the situation and try to convince some of these groups to join us, or try to find some way to... well, it's space
Okay.
Viking
wait,
space Viking politics.
Yes, now who has to die, right? The crazy guy with the gun.
Oh yes,
And
our
your
common must die.
Okay, and then your first mate.
Actually, I think that Caesar's not need to die. He might have a change of heart after having led the mutiny. It's obviously not going well for him. I could have him beaten and thrown in the brig for half a year, and denied some food and water until he learned his lesson. And then maybe he would be loyal to me again.
Well, one problem at a time.
Yes, indeed.
Are you a parent by any chance, Bjorgulfsson?
Probably.
Well, I'm thinking now, Trask. Let's talk about them. Where are they at, and how many of your former people? Like, they sound like the easiest to sway, maybe.
Perhaps it's best I just show you.
All right.
Alright, he starts walking back towards, there's a settlement with gunfire echoing off in the distance, closer. It takes you about a couple of hours to get there. And it's a madhouse here. There's I wonder if this explosion's going off. There's gunfire. You can hear all that echoing off in the distance. Whoops. And yeah, and this place is an absolute disaster. It's a mess. But he tells you to like duck down, and he points toward this old petrified tree. You can see groups of people actually engaged in a firefight just across from it. Now don't worry, I won't have you in the middle of something. I just want you to be able to see what's going on. It is basically like a 4 or 5 way firefight amongst multiple different buildings with radiation smoke billowing off nearby, in the wind, and of whatever noxious stuff is produced from whatever facility should, is left from long ago. You can see here that there are signs hanging in the wind over top of the roadway, indicating that there was a festival in this place, something cheerful from a long time ago. But now everything is just decayed and fallen over. You can hear yelling and screams off in the distance and fighting. And I'm going to pan around a little bit and point out some things that you can see, even though your line of sight is blocked on the VTT. There is a major building complex right here next to you, but you don't see an obvious way in. There is a door that's barred right here. There's a gunfight going on here in the street across from you. There is a very large building complex that you can see 2 stories in places. This whole area here in the dark, it's just blocked by your line of sight, but you can see it over the buildings. This is a large building complex, like a mall, okay? Or maybe a factory, but it's a whole compound, okay? And then there is another group of buildings off in the distance. You can hear some screaming off in that direction that you think is not Space Vikings. Like, it doesn't sound like combatants, it sounds like people screaming in fear. And then over here you can see a vertical building, half of which is kind of caved in and fallen apart. Something that would be like a refiner, something with a very vertical structure, like a smokestack or like a silo of some kind, and half of it's kind of caved in. And now Borgelson points over at that building and he says, "That's what Hawkman is, and the gun." And then you can see across from the road, you can also see a building here, and this door is barred as well. So there's multiple buildings with multiple groups all out here fighting and stuff, and Bjorgulfsson seeks to try to not just kill them all, but he has to try to get them on his side and take back his ship. That's actually where we'll end the adventure for the night. Mythic Traveler is a space western merchant classic traveler campaign in the Mythic Mountains RPG Play Club. The music's by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech and Greg Gibson with Timberzeal. Classic Traveler is one of the first tabletop role-playing games, and the first sprawling space simulator game ever created by Mark Miller and Games Designer Workshop. You can find the free facsimile rules of Classic Traveler by Far Future Enterprises in the description. Mythic Mountains RPG is an online play club that focuses on folk RPGs. Those are the RPGs that aren't run or controlled by some huge corporation, and they don't have some set way to play, and ain't nobody can tell you how you can play them. We play them, however, is the right way, and that's the way we want to do it. The table is the authority. We upload our games weekly on YouTube for everyone to enjoy and sit in without performances, fancy equipment, or monetization. It's just a group of people playing folk RPGs our way. You're welcome to join us, but until then, be safe out there between jumps.